Oh shit. That did not work at all. Sorry guys, my stream cut out. Looks like I ran out of power on this. Had to switch the adapter really quick. But yeah, man, just to do some of what I was talking about earlier, really working on this habit tracker for Refugee Hustle. Really like it's gonna be a really cool article. I'm really excited for it. Just because I've been focusing on habits myself, like using a habit tracker. Another cool thing I've been working on is just like I started a daily blog over here. If you go refugeehustle.com/Zanga or slash daily blog, you guys can read here as well. It'll just redirect you over here. Um, and some other things that have happened was that I tore my meniscus not too long ago, so that was pretty rough. Been dealing with that and stuff like that. It's really honestly quite scary kind of tearing your meniscus because I never had a major jujitsu injury before. It's my first major one. I actually had to stop like Muay Thai, I had to stop yoga, I stopped pretty much everything, and it's really been forcing me to focus back on my business. I'm going to Dan Pena's, not next week, but the week after that. So should be pretty intense, man. So things are coming down to a wire. I'm actually about to move out of my place too if I don't have enough shit on my table right now. But this is life, man. Sometimes you're just like constantly changing and like that now. I did read that somebody like Travel Curiosity or whatever is at work right now. So anyways, guys, while you guys are joining in, that's kind of like what's been interesting in my life. And I have to say, blogging every day or writing articles every single day, that has really kind of sparked my interest for shooting content. I actually shot one, two, three. Let me just check right now. I shot almost one, and I also have another article on like if you check, are Fidelity zero fee funds worth it? It's gonna be on my Kick-Ass Investing website relatively soon. So just want to give you a sneak peek of all the stuff that I'm really working on, all the cool things that I'm working on as well. So um in older times, your waifu was your bad habit tracker. Uh, okay. Yeah, man. So I just been really focusing on like the different habits, and it's kind of interesting. Like my habit tracker has like really evolved since version 1. Version 1 was really shit, and I just been kind of optimizing, right? Um Clamaris Jr. asked me, has an email marketing question. Writing your own or using a email swipe generator slash pre-made email swipes. I will tell you this, it really depends what you're trying to do. If you have a more personal brand, it's always best to model off like, so there's nothing wrong with using swipe files and stuff. If you guys don't know what swipe files are, they're pretty much templates for email marketing, things like that, landing pages. It's always important to model after like a swipe file. I think it's important to model after it, but adding your own touch if it's a more personal brand and stuff. Like for me, I always write like or like new emails for everyone. So that is something that's really important. But if it's more business related, yeah, go off a swipe file. Obviously, make your changes. They should be like, here's the thing you got to realize too, every campaign is like different. No one campaign is the same. So you want to make sure that you're customizing every single campaign. That doesn't mean that you can't use those swipe files and stuff, but yeah, man. If you're looking for swipe files, actually, there's this guy. Thank you for the like. Really appreciate it, y'all. There's this guy Neville Medora. I took his copywriting course too. I'll pull it up. Let me kind of delete some screens because, dude, my my desktop is getting bombarded and killed right now. Like there's so many tabs open right now that it's slowing down my computer. And one thing that's pretty interesting, Chrome is like Chrome is a very heavy resource like tool and stuff like that. It eats so many resources, especially when you have as many windows open like myself. But let me close some more things. Um, and I'll pull up this website for you, Neville swipe Swipe.co. Yeah, this is Neville. I believe this is Neville Medora's website. Has a bunch of great copy on here. Let me show you here. So it gives you some really great different email campaigns and all that sort of stuff. Like it's really great. You can do searches and whatnot, different niches, control, tested, stuff like that. And check out this website. I believe this is Neville Medora's site, but I can't remember. And there's a few other sites that I use for swipe files too. So check that out, man. All right. David is like, what is high ticket closing? What do high ticket closers do? Essentially, they're salespeople. They're salespeople who specialize in high ticket items, right? And so, pretty much we're inbound sales specialists. That's what it is. We help with two types of business problems: conversion and scale, right? So those are the type of things, right? Every business needs some sort of salesperson just to make sure that you're congruent with the brand, and to make sure to increase obviously conversion, right? You need a personal touch when you're buying high ticket services, or if you're more B2B, you're doing high ticket if you're doing business services, right? They want to know the type of person that they're talking to. So you're pretty much representing the brand and stuff like that. So that's essentially what you do. It's a very broad term. Dan Lok literally monopolized the term. I think he has that trademark too. It's crazy. But that's essentially, I stopped using the word high ticket closer. I started using high ticket sales a lot of times. So Abin Hazer says, should I major in finance? That is a really, really big question, bro. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's really what you want to do. I always tell people, don't go into college just for the major. I actually have a video coming out on this pretty soon, but don't go in just for the major. Think about what you want after the major. What kind of job do you want? Do you want to be like a consultant? Do you want to work for a big pharma job? There's a lot of different avenues with finance, man. Some of my best friends are finance majors, and they've done very, very well. Hagao says, is my stream lagging for anyone else, or is it just the internet? Maybe it's my internet and my computer. It's actually quite slow right now, so sorry about that. Let me kind of close my Final Cut Pro, close a few more things, man, and then hopefully it will be a lot better. But sorry about that if it's lagging a lot. Fuck, this sucks. Let's quit Final Cut Pro, close out all these freaking tabs, bro. Yeah, I've really kind of filled up this computer, and I've only had it since not that long. I've only had it since maybe what's that called, since earlier this year. I bought it in March and whatnot. By the way, if you guys can, please support my channel. Make sure to hit the like button, spam that shit, just so that this can go out into the masses. It really helps my channel grow. I'm almost at 10K, guys, and it's slow, but it's steady. I'm super happy about that. So I think high ticket closing is about selling high margin items, luxury car, for instance. Yeah, that is true. I mean, for me personally, I like selling a lot of different mentorships, right? Programs. I like programs, right? Typically if you're just taking an online course, it's not worth to have a high ticket closer. If you're just selling informational products, information is not enough. You cannot buy, I don't know how Dan Lok did it for so long, but he was selling just an information course for $2,500. Now that I'm more in this space, I definitely realized dude, if you're gonna pay good money, you better make sure there's three things, right? And I've been watching a lot of the reviews for these gurus and stuff, and I think an important thing is not to idolize these gurus. At the end of the day, you have a business problem. How I break it down to people, it's there's usually three things, right? Preventing you from starting your business is usually having the right people help you out, right? That's the mentorship aspect, right? Accountability, are you doing what you're supposed to be, or sorry, do you have the right process and strategy, right? Like, do you have the right business strategy, and do you have the right tools helping you out? And even to dive it deeper within like a program design, you're looking for three things: skills, accountability, mentorship. Without those, you don't have a complete program. And it's the same formula that people use in college as well. Think about it, right? Skills, you have the textbook. That's considered as skills, right? Very hands off, doesn't need a lot of attention. Accountability are the exams and tests, right? Are you actually studying the material? Mentorship, office hours. And also the skills is the lecture too. But that gives you something to think about, because I feel like a lot of time when people are disappointed with programs and stuff, it's because of the lack of there's a disconnect, right? And people put way too much emphasis on like different online programs and shit. Like, I was watching CoffeeZilla, pretty interesting content, but I think a lot of it is just like people just have such high unrealistic expectations sometimes. So it's good to check yourself. Chrome, I know, right? Have it clear out just so it can work, right? I would think a high ticket closer is the salesman and marketer for high ticket items. Well, I would tell you this, Armored. It's a little different. So, like marketing and being a salesperson is very different. So I like to think of marketing as getting people to know who you are, right? And sales is really getting those people as clients. So converting those from people who you are into clients, really that first touch of human element to it. So it's a little different. In the past, marketing, like the market, like salespeople would cold call and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of like marketing territory, to be honest with you, right? And there's a blend of it. And I would say these days, like if you have solid marketing, solid messaging, then you're like, you need to separate the two. So many times like people want you cold call and shit, and I'm not saying that cold calling doesn't work, but honestly that's probably a messaging problem, like based off my experience, and it hasn't been that long, right? But that's just how I personally feel based off of my stage. All the elite closers I know, they don't cold call ever, man. they don't. So just really interesting. Hagao was the same for me, but I turned down the quality. Sorry, y'all. My computer's shitting the bed. Kevin has a high ticket computer and internet for sale. So funny, man. It's crazy. Because here's the crazy thing. If it's running a little bit slow, it could be due to system resources. I literally shot like almost 100 gigs worth of content. So if it is kind of slow, then I apologize, man. I'm trying my best. I should probably, it's my fault too, because I probably should have cleared everything before the stream. So yeah, appreciate it. Let's see. What are some high paying skills and jobs that are in nowadays? Consulting is a really great job. It's really demanding though. Like honestly, there's a lot of different high income skills and all that sort of stuff. Copywriting is big. Dan Locke promotes a lot of these high income skills, and I'm not telling you take his courses or anything like that, but typically those are things that he does say. Those are true. Like copywriting is a very high income skill, right? Marketing is a high income skill. Like take a look at what's his name? Jay Abraham, one of the masters of positioning. He like charges like, I forgot what his prices were. It was like 20,000 for like an hour. It was like crazy, but people will pay for that expertise. And really what you have to ask yourself is like, well, not the best, like what is a job that I'll pay? What are the problems that I can fix that will solve a 6-figure problem, 7-figure problem? Because the bigger the problems you can solve, the more that you'll get paid, right? Really at the end of the day, like the reason why different clients will pay for closers is because they have a big problem, right? They don't have enough to scale, and by having a closer, that's revenue generating income, right, to your company. And so people are willing to pay top dollar. That's why that is considered a high income skill. But start thinking about the problems, right? If you think about lawyers, why are they paid so much? Well, lawyers are paid to keep you off fucking jail for the most part, right? Oh, why are accountants paid a lot? Oh, they also keep your ass from the IRS like knocking at your door, And once you start viewing the world like that, I think it makes things a lot more simpler. Even with pharmacy, I don't know. Pharmacy is a hard one. Like people will say, yeah, they pay like you're paying for their expertise and stuff, but honestly, no one pays for expertise. It's really access to make their health better, or access to medications or legal type of things. I can't think of one with a pharmacist, but like for something like I'm going through right now, surgery, like I might have to go to surgery, which I don't fucking want. And but if you totally tore your ACL and it's withering away, you're going to pay top dollar, because that is a huge problem, because it's going to change your quality of life. So I think that's an important to keep in mind as well, if that's a lot. Physicians, finance, software engineers are really great too. Lawyers, yeah. So we talked about great point, Armor Ghost. Hey, farm tech, but I suck at insurance. I have this problem where I forget, and even though I know things I need to work on, I've not improved. So how do you deal with not being needed? Yeah, well, Clamaris, I'll tell you this, man. Pharmacy is a tough gig, bro. Like I sucked at it like for a long time. Like it's knowing how. Think about it like this. There's a certain algorithm, right? So like think about it, when a patient comes to the pharmacy, they drop off their prescription, right? What are the algorithms that you have to go through? Oh, do you have your insurance? Yes or no, right? Do you have your ID? Is this prescription a narcotic? Yes or no? So you're building out this triage thing, but since you don't have it written down yet, you haven't gone through the reps yet, it seems very overwhelming all at once, right? And so if you can, that's part of experience too, because you get better at recognizing patterns, at recognizing the common problems with in the pharmacy and stuff like that. Oh, is this a fake prescription? Like you start building that out. And so I understand where you're going, what's happening. And it's a two-front battle. After work, you should always be asking, oh, how can I perform better at work? That's what I did a lot of time. I was like, fuck, I suck at this. What is the gap? Take someone who's really good at the pharmacy, your top tech, your lead tech. What is the gap? I'm over here, they're over here. What is the major gap? And just don't say experience. Yes, that is one factor, but there's ways to speed that up. And worst case scenario, just ask your pharmacy manager, man. They want to make sure that they have strong techs. They might not, their opinion, I'll be honest, their opinions might not always be great, but it'll point you in the right direction, right? And you can ask, hey, I've been really trying to figure out what to improve on. Do you have any suggestions for me? Or ask a better question, just be like, hey, there's the top tech, blah blah blah, and me. What is the main differences when we're working? What can I do? What can I do more of, like XYZ, and to help make your life a lot easier, right? Things like that, man. So I think asking better questions is really important. Diana, what's going on, Diana? Man, I haven't heard from you freaking forever. Holy shit. I thought you were dead for a second. Glad to hear you're still alive, man. Welcome to the stream. If you consider the hours accountants work, their pay isn't great. It's just meh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know how much accountants make, to be honest with you. But I would it vary? I actually don't know, because that's not my field of expertise. I don't want to be talking out my ass, but I use an accountant just because, in the stereotypical Asian eyes, that they think that's a lot of money and secure and shit. So that's the example I use. But think about it. Every single typical high paying job, they're paying for a huge problem to be solved. So yeah. You could say the same thing about pharmacists too. Yeah, and it's only going to go down because it's hard. I mean, like when you try to pinpoint our six-figure problem, what is it? Oh, it could be patient adherence, patient compliance. That could be one aspect, right? Because it does, like when patients are not adherent to their medications, then there's higher ER visits and whatnot, right? And that's something that we're always trying to avoid. Costs reduction to the healthcare system. That could be one of our things. But you know, at the end of the day, why are we dispensing medications manually a lot of the time? Why is most of that time spent on pharmacists doing like narc counts and stuff like that? Like it's hard to say, man. And I'm not surprised that, you know, pharmacy isn't paying as much because we don't have that honed in and tuned in. And it's not only identifying that problem, it's knowing whether people will pay for it, you know. And reimbursement to pharmacies have been honestly quite shit, you know. It hasn't been that great. So I think that's something to keep in mind. Taste and travel curiously says, dang, you dipped out on me, man. Sup? Yeah, no, I saw that you're at work, bro. Like, I hope you don't get busted or fired, bro. So, yeah, man, great to have you on the stream, man. Kevin, what do you like and dislike? By the way, hit for those 10 people who haven't liked this video, man. Make sure to slam that like video. And I would love to kind of throw a question at y'all. What are your plans this Thanksgiving? I was going to say Halloween. What are your plans this Thanksgiving? Leave them in the comments below. Let's love to kind of hear, because I'm not doing not saying I'm not doing jack shit, but I don't have too many plans for Thanksgiving because I'm going to be here in LA. But what do I like about and dislike about California? Great question. I think so some of the things I really like are, you know, I actually really like the environment of like martial arts here. It's one of the number one things why I stay in California. I make this joke. I'm like, one of the major reasons why I'm here in LA is so I can do jiu-jitsu, even though my meniscus is all fucked up. But one of the major reasons why I love it out here is because of martial arts. That is a huge reason for me staying out here. Second reason, I just meet more entrepreneurial people out here. It's more open-minded here. Surprisingly, when I was back in Boston, not too many other people want to start their own businesses or do any of that sort of stuff, man. It's really, really difficult. Like, it's really difficult to meet those people. I was actually talking to a client, and I saw he was calling from Boston area, and I was like, man, I'm kind of curious, man. Like, how many of your friends around you are entrepreneurial? And they said barely any. And I was like, oh fuck, that is crazy. So yeah, I just totally felt his sentiment about that, and it's a real thing, man. So I think having the right people, also, like, it's more health conscious too. Like, if you want to do keto, it's a lot easier to adhere to. If you want to do juicing or veganism or whatever, it's a lot easier to stick to as well, like out here, because you have a lot more options. And but the dislikes about California, traffic is a huge pain in the ass, because you have to literally plan your day around traffic. Like, when I went to the urgent care, it took me so I had to jump around urgent cares. I had complications with my insurance company because they're saying this company was contracted with them, but it wasn't contracted. And I had to jump from urgent care to urgent care. But, like, for example, I was going to an urgent care that was 5 miles away. It took me over like an hour to get to the urgent care at 3 p.m. And there's traffic during that time, which sucks. Going to LAX, like, if you're going to airport, also a lot of traffic, man. And it's really, really tough, like, dealing with traffic. People don't realize how much of a hindrance it is, how much stress it puts on you, but it does put on quite a bit of stress thinking about that as well. So that is something else I don't like about LA. And I mean, also, double-edged sword. I mean, you meet two types of people. People who are kind of like bougie. I don't know what the right word is, but for example, the two people that got into and like hit me with the car, they're complete assholes. And I get it, man. No one likes to be in an accident, but at the same time, it's you hit me, man. Like, I'm not being an ass to you. I'm not even asking you to accept fault. But what I'm asking you is just like, hey, let's exchange information and like let the insurance company deal with it. I'm too old to deal with so much bullshit. And I just, some of the times you just meet people who just don't take responsibility, who are like man-childs or whatever. They're just like, I don't know. That's kind of like what I run into sometimes. So it's like two dynamics of the people I run into. So I hope that kind of explains a little bit more. Diana says, I thought everyone thought I died. Finally I got a new apartment and car. Life's been sick, man. Miss ya. Stay smooth, says Diana. Cool, man. We gotta catch up. What do you think about the field of optometry? You know what? I actually don't know, but I think it'd be kind of cool if I pulled it up. So, optometry. From what I've heard through my friends, and maybe I'll interview one of my friends too, but optometry, Bureau of Labor. This is one of the first things I do to just see. Oh, here we go. Great. Cool. So let's take a look at here. Let's not update my audio, but if you take a look, median pay, $11,000 per year. You get your doctorate. Great. Job outlook is really great. Looks like there's going to be jobs. Let's compare this to pharmacy. Hold on. Just want to make sure my Pornhub doesn't pop up. Pharmacy Bureau of Labor. And let's compare the two, guys. Like, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to just set up my screen so we can do side by side and do some of this. Take a look at this. Oh my God. All right, cool. All right. Can you guys see this? Does this work? This is kind of ghetto, but I think it works. Yeah, I think take a look at this. All right, cool. So we can compare side to side. Pharmacist pays more, but like, look at this. The job outlook is little to none, right? But there's going to be a job for optometry, right? So it's really great. A lot of time they work in standalone offices. So a lot of the targets you'll see too, they actually have a lot of optometrists as well. You know what I will do? Next time I go to Texas, I have a really good friend who she does optometry, and I would love to interview her for my channel, and maybe I can cover more healthcare professionals on my channel too. But like at the same time, like, yeah, so I think that would be pretty cool. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video with that, like comment or something like that, and I'll get that set up. So yeah, man. Store closed, not sure why I'm still scheduled. Haha. How long you been into jiu-jitsu? Jiu-jitsu, I've been in jiu-jitsu ever since, like, dude, first time I heard about jiu-jitsu was really my last year of college. So 2010 I found out about jiu-jitsu. I started practicing maybe in 2011 for like 6 months. Didn't really keep up with it. Didn't keep up with it in pharmacy school. I had one tournament that I fought in, and I used jiu-jitsu. Really loved it. But like, it was gi and stuff. So gi, like, if you don't know what a gi is, it's like that jacket, the uniform and stuff like that. I don't like playing like that. And then when I came to LA in 2014, I started jiu-jitsu for a bit. I would go just like once a week. I wasn't that determined about it, but then I started going more and more consistently, fell in love with it. Then when my dad passed away, I started going almost every single day. I was going like at least maybe 3 to 4 times per week. And yeah, until I tore my meniscus recently, like as of 3 days ago, like I've stopped going. But I miss it. It's such a cool game. It's like a really cool chess game that's dynamic, but you can get fucked up really easily too. So that's what I've been doing and stuff. We got Lubov. What's going on? Yevsenko. Kevin, I just got my acceptance to farm school in NYC for 2020 and recently quit my job at CVS as a farm tech after a year. Couldn't deal with it anymore. Should I leave while I still have the chance? So I will tell you this. So I'll tell you this, and I'll give you a pretty decisive answer. Take a look at this, right? And I want you to see my thought process behind this, Lubov. So I pulled this up earlier. I think it's a good indicator of where pharmacy's headed. Look at this for a second. There's no job outlook. You're going to be in at least $100,000-$200,000, probably most likely 200 plus K in debt through pharmacy school. Pharmacy school is like more of a status thing more than anything. So you really got to think about your future. Now, if you do like pharmacy, go into it, but just know that the odds are kind of against you, right? But I would not do pharmacy school without knowing what I want to do at the end. Like, you have to have that vision of where you want to head to. Do you want to do be an informatics pharmacist? And even with this is how clear you should be. You should have a list of companies that you want to work for, and also the job titles that you want to hit directly into pharmacy school. If you can't produce that, or if you can't find the time to do it, don't go. Quit while you're ahead right now. Definitely quit while you're ahead right now, if that makes sense, right? Because I don't believe you should be investing into something where you don't have a vision. If you're not asking why am I doing this? Why do I want this? I think that's the most important thing. And does this support a lifestyle that I want in the future? Because you have to be okay doing retail. You have to be okay working holidays. And that might mean spending time away from your family during the holidays and stuff too. Are you prepared to do that? Do you want to do that? That's a question that you can only ask yourself, Lubov. So I hope that helps you a little bit more. So yeah, if you are questioning whether you should leave, before you do that, just ask yourself, what is the end goal? Why am I trying to do this? So yeah. Where's a good place to learn self-defense? It depends where. I say dude, Clamaris, try jujitsu. Jujitsu is like a superpower. Once you learn jiu-jitsu, you can probably defend yourself. Just remember though, your stand-up is probably not that good if you do jiu-jitsu, but like most fights that end up on the ground, you just clinch, you close the distance, clinch up with them. You can bring them to the ground. Don't fucking jump guard. Oh my God. Don't jump guard in a fucking street fight. But it will help you. It'll help you feel super, super confident if you get in a confrontation as well. And plus you don't need to hurt them and shit. What's the last generation of Pokemon that I played? I played Pokemon Yellow. That was the last one. I never went past that because I was probably a little too old after that. An interview with an optometrist would be awesome. There's very few videos on the YouTube about the fields compared to pharmacy. Yeah, dude, let's make it happen, man. I'm gonna hit up my friend and see if she is down to do it, because she's actually trying to do a optometry video or an optometry channel as well. Lubov, I work at CVS. It feels very hectic, so I know the feels. It sucks, man. Like when I was there, maybe things have changed, right? But they work you really, really hard. Compensation is, it's stressful. People don't realize how stressful it is when you're limited resources, and it's just this really stressful environment. It's not for everyone, and it's okay to say it's not for you. I feel like there's this big fear of I'm going to get fired if I talk, if I don't like my work environment. But I think it's important to have that conversation about what you don't like, and thinking about how you can improve shit in the pharmacy. That's the one thing I don't like about pharmacy, is how everything is, you can't openly talk about issues in the pharmacy and stuff, and so it's really tough, man. That's what happens when you get corporate into a lot of things because that corporate jargon, people just aren't as open when you use when people in corporate and stuff. Lubov says, or Hagao says, if you didn't like the tech job, you might not like being a pharmacist either. More money, more stress too. Absolutely right, Hagao. So only do it if you love it. there's no money on it. It's going down, if anything, right? So taste, travel, curiously, you're right. Yeah, but the Asian mom, this Asian mom told me, oh my god, Asian mom freaking syndrome. Oh my god, it's the worst. I think Asian moms and Asian parents are the worst because they project all their values on me. Asian people lack tact too. Like they're not very like tactful, and they do not. I mean, it comes down to this. Like Asian people, like we don't communicate that. Like our culture in general, we don't communicate that well. I mean, take a look at what's happening in Hong Kong and stuff. That's communication, man. Like straight up. It's very, think about it like this. It's like a very authoritarian type of style of parenting. That's what it's like. You know, they're just going to hit you, beat you and shit. That's pretty much what Asian parenting is. And they're very status oriented. Saving face is important. It's like all these things, but you got to realize like, dude, after this, like we are the new generation. I mean, we have the chance to change things. We do not have to carry their traditions. And at the end of the day, like I always tell people, your parents are going to be 6 feet under in like 20 plus years. So you're the one that's going to bear all the consequences. Never listen to your like listen to your parents, get their input, see where they're coming from, see their intention, and then you make the decision whether you want to follow their advice or not. But don't do it just because your freaking parents are telling you. That's like the worst decision. And I see that happen a lot. It's hard. It's easier said than done. But you know, I mean, that is the truth, man. You gotta grow up, grow some balls, and tell your parents to hell no. Sometimes I feel like I would return a degree if I had a chance to even get 50% of refund on my student debt. That's the biggest scam in the world, man. Sometimes like with school, man, like they never guarantee you a job, but it's like life too. It's like business. And that's why I'm saying, like, you know, with school, we have that expectation. Everything is on us, right? And same goes with like things like online programs or entrepreneurship. Everything is on you. Like it's just the medium. You're just paying for the medium, the program, the catalyst to help you along the way to have the process, right? People, process, and tools, right? To really start an Amazon business as well. Truth Seeker says, I'm in pharmacy school, fighting for, and by the way, hit the like button, guys. Would love it. Would love it if you could do that for me. Everyone is stressed and fighting for opportunities. Yeah, it's a competitive world out there, man. And I don't know a good way to, like, other than funneling people out of pharmacy after pharmacy school, that's way too late. I feel like prevention is like the most important thing. And just like, not prevention of not going into pharmacy, that's not the right term, right? But really making sure that the people going into pharmacy have a clear vision and have a clear idea of what they want to get out of pharmacy. Like there should be a clear purpose of why you're going into pharmacy to begin with, right? Kevin, what is your purpose of being live to answer for any questions versus posting intended videos with well-researched answers? I think I rather appreciate your put together 30-minute video. Well, it's really to connect, man, at the end of the day. So yeah, man. I just choose to kind of answer questions on the fly just to help people, because here's the thing, putting a video together is freaking long. Like, dude, for example, I'm working on this Fidelity no fee, like some of the no fee Fidelity funds, man, and where I compare everything. It takes a long time. It took me almost 40 minutes to shoot that video. It's taking me like, if like I'm editing it, it's going to take me another like hour plus to edit a video. It's tough, man. So, I mean, this is the best thing that I can do. So, retail, Tung says, retail is becoming toxic. Not sure how these new pharmacy graduates will be able to pay off these 200K loans. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't know, to be honest with you. Armored Ghost says subscriber interaction. Thank you for explaining that, Armored. Really appreciate it. MVP. Do you ever get PTS from feather dusters? Yeah, man. Whenever I go to a Daiso, I start like cowering in a freaking corner, bro. The Asian mom better pay for it. Haha. they don't know how much it costs, and pay is not keeping up with job growth. Exactly, right? So yeah, like don't listen to your Asian parents, man. Like make your decision for yourself, because if you are coming of the age of like making a decision for college or your major, I mean, that should be your decision. Like toxic levels of incompetence in my pharmacy class. Wow, that's crazy. Well, here's the thing too, since there's less and less jobs like being like out there, pharmacy schools are becoming a lot more lax with their schooling and stuff. So I mean, they're gonna start lowering their requirements and stuff, and it's ruining the profession, to be honest with you. But yeah, they have to eat somehow, I guess, right? Everybody needs to eat, so that's how the pharmacy schools need to eat, man. So sounds like law school 10 years ago. Ooh, that's very interesting. I like, that's pretty interesting to see you draw that parallel, Armored. I haven't really studied like the law like the industry of law that much, but that's very, very interesting. Like I know a few of my friends went to law school, they could not find jobs after. It seems like almost the same thing. You're right. What's stopping pharmacy retailers like Walgreens, CVS from fully automating their pharmacy operations, assembly line, and camera software, count pills? Probably initial startup costs, man. It has to have a really good cost to benefit ratio, man. And especially with like, but here's the thing with CVS and stuff, they own like pretty much the whole supply chain, right? You think about it, they have the insurance company, they have like everything. They have the pharmacy, they have specialty pharmacy, they have the whole, pretty much the whole supply chain. So I don't know. That is a good question, but I think it's initial cost. Like think about it like this. I don't know how many stores. Let me Google this really quick. CVS stores in USA. I don't know how many US how many CVS. Okay, so I looked this up. I mean, obviously you don't have to automate every single one, but 62,000. Okay, that's a lot of freaking money. Even if it was just like 50,000 to install machines, which is probably, it's going to be a lot more, dude. Like a lot more for that expensive equipment and stuff. But I don't know. Like that is a really solid question. I have no idea. Um let's see. I know a person that graduated same year as me and now is doing PA. So yeah. Oh shit. Physician assistant? Damn. Oh my god, that is brutal because you're double dipping on the you're double dipping on the career. I'm actually kind of curious, like for physician assistant, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let's take a look at PA. Obviously you guys know that one of my really great friends, she's a PA. So let's take a look at Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let's take a look. So, oh shit, summary. Oh wow. Job look 31. Oh shit. There's a huge demand for physician assistants, right? And like 108K per year on average, makes that's higher than optometrists, higher job growth. Man, this is going to be great. You know, like going based off the data, based off the states and stuff. I'm kind of curious what areas I know they have the, let's take a look over here. Let's see if they have it by breakdown by state. And see, and this is really great. I mean, guys, I would whatever career you're planning to go on, you should probably take a look at here. I'll pull up pharmacy in a second, but I think dark green is the highest. So California, highest employed. So, oh man, this is really interesting. And there, the light colors are okay. So highest employment in this as well. Location. Is there any like demand? And you can see like the average mean wage and whatnot. This is really cool. I wonder if they have like projections for demand and stuff. I haven't really looked at these charts, to be honest with you, that much, but I'm definitely going to take a look at it more and more and more. So cool. If Amazon can do 2 day shipping of all United States, pharmacy has to be fully automated, mateable. Definitely has the potential to, but I feel like there's a lot of uh, regulatory affairs, like a lot of laws and regulations as well, like preventing it from fully being automated. We have old laws like saying like, hey, every prescription needs to be checked by a pharmacist, right? And when you add the human element, that makes it less scalable, if that makes sense, right? So I don't know, but I guarantee you, yeah. I mean, I there's this small part of me, I hate saying this, I feel like a part of pharmacy is like kind of outdated, right? If we didn't have, like, think about it, this profession was kind of created after like before the computers and whatnot, before we had smartphones. So back in the day, we like access to information was a lot harder, right? There was a barrier of information, and yeah, it was just a very different climate as well. So yeah, but I think it's mostly legal, to be honest with you. They use machines like Script Pro, so there is automation. It's just that there's a lot of changes coming to mix optimize. Yeah, but Script Pro, man, there's oh yeah, and here's the thing: if anybody's used a Script Pro or any of those machines, man, those break all the time. It's really, really a pain in the ass sometimes. They'll break your pharmacy sometimes. So maybe that's why. I could see 1 3 live pharmacists for support, then a machine that does all the technical and routine work. They already do. They already did lower their requirements as tongue. I took a leaf of your book. Bought the Mont Blanc pen the other day. I completely feel what you mean. Good luck, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the pen. I enjoyed the pen all the time. I haven't written with it in like maybe a week or so, but I'm gonna bring it to Dan Pena's QLA seminar and take notes with it. So, um, competitive, yes. Not competence, but yes, that too. Well, you can be blind and walk into pharmacy school now. Holy shit! Comments are coming through like crazy. I'm barely keeping up, bro. So, I like that answer. CVS be running cartel shit. Here comes Amazon. SoCal traffic is a hellhole. I work in Central Valley right now, and it's chill. Got a good store to go, and it's hard to leave. Yeah, in Central Valley, by the way, like they're a lot higher paying. Well, back when I graduated, and you tell me, man. Um, I remember it was like pretty high paying because no one wants to be in Central Valley for the most part, right? So it's pretty high paying, right? I swear, you work for BLS marketing department? I swear I don't. And if I did, it probably pays shit because it's a government, bro. Like, probably pays horrible. Yeah. PA demand is high, bro. Haha, 2 year school because no one wants to be primary care. It's true. No one wants to do, like, being a PCP is like tough, right? You have to go through all the years. Like, your return on investment is probably a lot higher as a PA than, and you probably get relatively the same fulfillment as a PA rather than a PCP, man. So, he sells high ticket occupational handbooks. So funny. What do you think about pharmacists in the 30s going back to school to get the MD degree? Uh, Man. Well, hold on for a second. Let's. Why don't we? I'm kind of curious, man. Like, let's. So we took a look at. So far, we've taken a look at during this stream. We've taken a look at Bureau of Labor statistics for we've taken a look at labor statistics for PA, optometry, pharmacy, physician. Oh, here we go. Let's take a look. I'm very curious about this. And obviously there's a lot of different like there's a lot of different types of physicians, but let's see. Job look is like whatever, faster than average. I think like the job outlook normally is like 6% or something like that. 208. I don't like, it depends how you look at it. If you look at it fulfillment and autonomy wise, maybe if that's really something that's important to you, if starting a family is important to you, this might be really, really hard, to be honest with you. I don't really know. But return on investment wise, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. I think you can make a lot more money as a PA and investing that money that you would have spent into med school, and investing it even with like mutual funds or index funds. I don't have the math for it off the top of my head, but I don't think the ROI is really worth it if you really want to help patients and be more patient oriented. Like PAs do a lot, man. Like, dude, when I got kneed in the head during MMA, man, like a long time ago, a PA helped me, right? Like they're really well trained. Like MPs and PAs are like godsends because there's such cost savings to the system. They do pretty much everything that regular like PCP can do and stuff like that, and it's really great. So I personally wouldn't do an MD unless you have a particular reason to as well, unless you want to move up in like hospital management too, maybe. Yeah, so I don't really know. Google's deep pharmacist is putting all pharmacy deep pharmacists Google's deep pharmacist is putting pharmacy schools and 99% of pharmacies out of business. Yeah, 140 base pay. Hispanic patients are the best. If not pharmacy, what would you have majored in? Oh, good question, Lubov. Oh man, I'll be honest. I don't think I would have gone to school. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think I would have gone to school. But if the question is like, hey Kevin, if you had to go to school and do it, if it was healthcare related, probably I would do PA, right? That's the field I would probably go into instead. If it was like another major, I probably would have done like business or finance, to be honest with you. Thinking about it now. Or I probably would have went into like, yeah, I probably would have done business or finance. Maybe do like an MBA. Maybe. No, not really. Well, do consulting maybe for a bit just to go through some hell and travel a lot. But that's probably what I would have done. That's how you know I've been streaming too long. That's what I would have done. Maybe marketing or something like that too. Don't know. There's a lot of different possibilities, but that's the thing about like post college life is like you have to realize I started out as a pharmacist, right? And I didn't let that identity hold me back. And there's nothing stopping you from recreating yourself, redoing other, like going into other things. And I feel like, all aspects of my life are really filled right now because, I talk about pharmacy on this channel sometimes, right? Even though it's not the main focus. Oh shit, I just got a message. Yeah, so like I talk about pharmacy. I get to do videos. I get to do writing, copywriting and stuff. I get to talk to people and do consulting. Like I'm very fulfilled in my life, and it's just like there's nothing stopping you from adding these other elements into your life that you always wanted. So college isn't everything, man. Sometimes we put, I think one of the biggest things is like, why are we going to college? You have to ask yourself that before going to college. Why are we going to college? Like, what is the point? What is the purpose of going to college? Second thing, what lifestyle are we trying to get? And like I said, we put way too much emphasis on college, trying to think that that's the main thing that's going to make us happy when it really doesn't, so whoo. Should pharmacists be able to prescribe? Honestly, yeah, I don't see why not. Part of the battle is, you have like a lot of physicians lobbying against it. But I think it would be, we have the knowledge to do it. Maybe we don't have all the data and labs and stuff to prescribe. But honestly, I don't see why we can't do it, because I remember in pharmacy school we learned so much like random shit. We even learned how to do a freaking eye exam. I learned how to do an eye exam in pharmacy. Do I still remember it? Fuck no. But we like, there's pharmacists are smart people. They're not dumb, right? And we can definitely figure it out. I think it's just like money related half the time, And that's what's really getting in the way, right? People will argue like public safety and stuff, but honestly, that's nothing a little training can't fix, right? You can easily fill the gap with that. There's no reason why I don't think and I think that's, but then you get into that where it's like, oh, what is the difference between like a prescribing pharmacist? What is the difference between the role of a PA? What is the difference between a role in an MP, right? And you start playing in this murky water, if that makes sense. So yeah. Have you ever had to go through a difficult financial time through like where you couldn't pay the bills and slept in a car, that kind of thing? Um Not for a prolonged period of time. As far as like paying bills and stuff, like I've never had that problem because I've always tried to figure it out. And it sucks. Like I had a moment like last year, and I don't think I've ever shared this publicly, but I had to liquidate some of my stocks to make sure that, I pretty much ran out money like last year at one point, and I was like, fuck, I have to liquidate some of my stocks, and it was really, really tough for me to make that decision. But that's why that was when I didn't really have a strong client then. I wasn't that good at closing, and I didn't really have my high ticket skills, so that was the tough part, and I was really struggling at that point. I think starting over, I wrote about this in my daily blog actually. So if I go refugee hustle / daily blog, I talked about it, and I wrote this article yesterday. So if you guys don't know, I do daily blogging, and it's not like a serious article thing. It's just like my thoughts. I gotta write one for today later, but I talked about like, hey, back in 2016, I made my first 150K. And part of that 150K was because I took 0 vacations. The next year I made 30K, and that 30K was really during the last part of the year. And so it was really, 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 really rough for me, man. So yeah, I have gone through some financial times, but you just gotta have hope that, just focus on what the important things are, right? What are the important things? And just really take one step at a time, and just think about what you can do in that situation. Do you have to liquidate your stocks? Do you have to sell shit? Do you have to drive Uber for a little bit? That's the humbling part about life, because I just didn't want to go back to pharmacy. And even though pharmacy was the easy solution, I know that if I went back to pharmacy, I would morally feel like a failure. And I knew I was so close to the finishing line. I had mapped out the plan and stuff. I remember sitting with a blank piece of paper and just writing out my roadmap, and just like, okay, how do I bridge this gap financially? What is it? Do I lack the people? Do I lack the process? Do I lack the tools? Do I lack the opportunity? And so that was a really tough time, but now it's a lot better, because it's weird, because with pharmacy, no one teaches you like a high income skill. No one for me now, I feel very confident financially, just because I know how to sell, right? I know how to sell. I know how to create offers. I know how to like get attention, right? If I really wanted to, I know how to sell. But knowing that skill, like, you'll never be, when you know a skill that can drive revenue, you'll never be out of business, because everybody's looking for more ways to get money, right? And even if it's just $500, $100 per week, $2,000 per week, it's not uncommon. I think how much did 20, and it really depends. 7. So I think this week might have been like a $2,000 week for me, if not higher. Hold on, let me just 290 times 7 times 0.15. Yeah, $3,000 week for me maybe. So it depends, right? But I've never felt that confidence ever before. And like, when you have that confidence, that security within yourself, it makes you unfiltered, and it makes you not care as much, and it holds a lot of resistance. I guarantee you, if I was still in the industry, I wouldn't be as vocal as I am right now. But because I have that financial stability where I know I can create it, I just need the right I I'll always find work no matter what. That's what this year has really taught me. And I think that's like, I think everybody should really go on a journey where, obviously pick a business model before you jump in. I recommend high ticket sales or something like that, because you need that for any sort of thing. You need that for copywriting agency. If you want to be a freelancer, you have to sell yourself. Like, that is always the case, right? Sales is the number one thing. And even the pharmacy, you're selling all the time. You're selling people on why they should take their medication every day. And let's talk about, like, you don't think pharmacy is a business? Oh, let's upsell someone on this vaccine. As fucked up as it is, that's what it is. A lot of time there's always these upsells, right? And you gotta sell certain clinical programs to people. So whether you realize it or not, or whether you want to deny it or not, you're always selling. You have to be able to persuade. That's important. So yeah. Oh man, I went on a huge tangent. Is going through pharmacy residency worth it not to end up in retail? Well, there's no guarantee that once you do residency that you won't end up in retail. There's plenty of people where I know that they've done residency and they still ended up in retail. So there's nothing like that. That's why I'm saying you should have absolute clarity of where you want to be before you go down a route of residency, before you go down a route of pharmacy school and all that as well. What was your worst day at CVS? Well, I'll tell you this. It wasn't my worst day, but I remember like one day, like I forgot what happened. Like the pharmacist didn't show up or something happened where I worked. Like it was during the holiday and I ended up having to work the whole fucking day. Like morning clothes and stuff. And it was hella busy. I didn't get any breaks. I was starving. I made a lot of fucking money that day, by the way, but I wouldn't say that's my worst day. I think the worst days are when like I'm stuck with people that aren't driven toward the same goal. They're like slackers, right? Slackers are like, I'm not saying slackers are the worst, right? Like everybody's a little different, but definitely when you're busy and you're trying to help people and people don't share, they're more interested in their in order to do healthcare, you have to be pretty, not selfless, but you have to prioritize your patients over yourself sometimes, right? That's the nature of the game. That's part of being a good pharmacist, right? Or like even pharmacy tech, right? But there's a lot of different especially the older people, because they're more jaded. They're just like, why should I put all this work into this? Well, you fucking signed up for this shit, bro. Like that's the nature of the game, right? And I think the days that were the worst were when I was just surrounded by people who were just slacking all the time, who were complaining all the time, the negativity. And it just gets to you. No matter how positive a person you can be, your environment will always beat you. That's typically it, man. If you live right next to a fucking pizza, if you live inside a Pizza Hut, guarantee your ass you're gonna eat pizza a lot more often than when you aren't surrounded by pizza. But if you buy cookies for the house, I guarantee you're gonna eat a lot more cookies than if you never bought cookies for the house. So, FYI. It's sad to say, but most of the older pharmacists are very ashamed about some of the new grads from these schools, and we're seeing now. I think the worst day is when, God forbid, you make a pharmacy mistake, get a corporate complaint, and have a very abusive customer. Fortunately for me, I never had a huge mistake. I forgot. So I remember, I remember this like one time, man, it wasn't me that did this, but I remember like the pharmacy manager. So if you don't know, there was this patient on Depakote for like seizures or something like that, and then the bottles looked really close to bupropion bottles. There's like a blue, I still remember it, man. It was like a blue bottle. I think it's by Watson. I think that was the manufacturer, and blue bottle, like really oval and blue bottle, and oh my god, they dispensed it out. And if you know anything about bupropion, it actually has a chance to increase the seizures, right? And so this person actually had a seizure and went to the ER, and I was the one on duty who they told their family came to me. I was like, oh fuck, and that was when my heart dropped. Some of the other bad days is like if you have a really great patient. Like I had a really close patient. Actually, I want to show you guys this. This is pretty personal, man. I had this still have it. Uh I don't know why she wrote RR. She spelled my last name wrong, but you can't read it. It's cool. But January 29th to 3, she wrote 3050. I think she meant 2015. She was like, "Hey, dear Dr. Lee, this is to thank you for your kindness in letting me sit in your waiting room." She's British, by the way. Not to mention offering to drive me to Cedars, ER. What happened was I took a taxi and next day checked in at 2 p.m. All I can say is that be glad that you're working at the pharmacy. It was a masses of humanity streaming in after hour after hour. Anyway, this note is not about Cedars, but to thank you for your sincere gesture. And this patient actually, I felt so bad because she didn't have friends, family, and stuff. So I offered to drive her to the ER right after work. I was like, I have to, obviously, I can't leave the pharmacy to drive you, but I'm more than happy. This was before Uber and stuff. And she actually never made it back, man. I only saw her one other time and she passed away. And that was really hard. Sometimes when you take care of your patients and stuff, you see them every single day, you develop this relationship, and having them leave, that's a really tough day sometimes, man. So FYI. Have you have you or your colleagues ever or friends have experienced burnout? All the time, man. I actually have a few videos on burnout, man. Oh crap, didn't know it was just pharmaceuticals. Sorry. I think the worst days, yeah. So cool. And is this message like cut off? I feel like it is. All right, cool. Any final question, y'all? I'm getting kind of tired, man. I gotta finish editing some videos and all that as well. And yeah, man. But hey, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today, man. Really, this channel has been growing a lot. I'm pretty happy about it, even though I haven't been posting content. I need to edit some videos for tomorrow and stuff like that and make sure that they go up. I've been really slacking. I literally have let me count all the videos. I have them in my Dropbox right now. Oh my god, yeah, I have a lot of videos. So anyways, guys, if you guys can, just make sure to like this video, subscribe. Refugee Hustle, man, would really mean a lot to me. The more because I'll be sending a lot more personal emails out there. And if you guys got any questions, feel free to go Refugee Hustle, go got questions, and just email me there too with your questions. I'll try to shoot a video back or something if I can. So are you going to do any live vlogs soon? I can if you really want. If you really want me to do live vlogs. I haven't done a vlog in fucking forever. Last vlog I did was at Disneyland during Halloween, and I still haven't uploaded that. So I really should get a editor for my channel and stuff like that too, but I've just been really kind of postponing that, not been focusing on that. Always love those, man. Wish you did it more. Well, AZ, you're a true homie, man. I'll do a vlog. And I don't know, man. Sometimes the vlogs are just boring. Like I feel like they're boring. But if you like them, then maybe I'll do a few more. But I've definitely gotten a lot more conservative, like kind of shooting out in public so much. I stopped kind of like for a while. So yeah, man. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm getting tired. My voice is like dying. So I will talk to you guys later. Next week. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll do a Thanksgiving like stream or something like that, and we'll have a good time. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.